Hi, I'm Raychul with Turtle Beach. I'm here with some of the voice cast of Borderlands and, of course, the audio director behind the series. So I want to go around really quick and you guys introduce yourself to all the viewers and what part you play in the Borderlands development.
I'm Mark Petty. I'm the audio director for Gearbox.
I'm David Eddings. I'm a vice president at Gearbox, but I'm also the voice of Claptrap.
I'm Ashley Burch, and I play Tiny Tina.
I'm Dameon Clarke, and I play Handsome Jack.
On the subject of Handsome Jack, we know he's back for the pre-sequel.
Did that ever get out?
It did now. It did now.
Whoops. What's it like actually being back? Because last, I'm sure you had heard, your character was dead.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was certainly not expecting it, so right on. You know, I actually was saying it's a shame that it had to end. I was talking to somebody about it, and it was like, I wish we could keep doing it. And then I got a call saying, hey, we're doing it still. And I was pretty pumped about it.
I think it's a testament to how awesome you are in Borderlands 2, that we were trying to figure out ways to write you back in, right?
Thanks, man.
Well, he is Handsome Jack in real life.
It's not a big stretch, right?
Yeah.
Really, people are like, you're just a dick in real life. That's pretty much who you are. Yeah.
Tiny Tina became a fan favorite very fast. What is the inspiration behind her voice and her personality?
She's sort of a mixture of Anthony, the writer, is my brother, and we have a really insane friend named Christina, who Anthony based Tina on a little bit. She's actually just bonkers, and and I sort of mixed her personality with like the way that Anthony and I are goofy with each other. So those two things combined kind of made Tina.
With Claptrap, he is listed as, in many different outlets, as one of the best robots in video game history.
That's awfully kind. Yes, but thank you.
What's that like, you know, being the man behind that voice and that personality that we all love?
It's an honor. I feel like I get a lot of unearned adoration. I take the credit for about 98% of the game. Unfortunately, I do very little on it. Spend a few hours in the studio doing Claptrap,
Yeah,
but
you just got Character of the Year, dude. It's no big deal.
Well,
You sell yourself so short. It's awesome.
It's a rigged contest, so we bought a lot of advertising that year. Anyway, but I will say that growing up as a huge fan of animated cartoons, and Mel Blanc being a mentor in a way, well, not a mentor, a huge influence, but also Curly Howard and a bunch of other folks that I probably don't even know their name. It's really neat to be able to contribute creatively to the process, and to be recognized for it, I'm just beside myself. 17 years in the industry, in the gaming industry, and nobody ever gets excited about meeting the biz guy. And the moment that they find out I'm Claptrap, it just changes everything. So
Right.
it's fun.
They usually probably make jokes about stairs, right?
Every time.
Thanks, Anthony.
Now, what would you say is one of the best parts about working on Borderlands?
I love the humor of the franchise. Like, it's great to not work on something that's a serious shooter all the time. Like, to pull away from that and to live in a world where the narrative is funny, the characters are funny, the world feels alive. The NPCs don't feel like sort of these robots that just sort of talk to you and interact with you in a sort of generic way. Like, they actually have a personality. And it's also been fun working with the actors, because quite honestly, a lot of the script gets changed like on the fly in the studio. When I made the joke about Dameon actually being Handsome Jack in real life, he rarely ever reads a line the way that it's written. And
Your brother digs it.
Yeah.
which
He really
is
digs
a
it.
nightmare on the editing side. But no, he.
He was like,
But the point is the actors are really free to express themselves and how they would read the line, and they really are the characters. And working with people like that on a creative level is awesome. So it was the whole franchise has been just a lot of fun.
you're one of the audio directors? I thought you were in payroll.
That was awesome.
Yeah, things change so
They
fast with
transferred me up.
Gearbox.
They switched me around.
I don't know what you're doing over there. It's working, but
Thank you.
it's weird.
It's a step down from HR.
Keep everybody on edge.
And what would you say is one of your favorite parts about being Handsome Jack? Because as far as we have seen him,
chicks.
he's okay.
The ladies,
That's
definitely.
that's what I was hoping.
The checks.
Sending it
Yeah,
out.
well, yeah, and the new beach house I bought with all the No, sorry, continue your question.
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as we've known him, he's been, you know, kind of like a smart ass and a real jerk. Is that a lot of fun? Oh, he is a very charming level.
Yeah, that's all Anthony. I mean, in a good way. It's so hard to make a villain not one note or just either detestable or the like binary, if you will. Like so his challenge and what he did so well was, and everybody says it, you know, you love to hate him, and at the end, some people didn't even want to pull the trigger on him because he's. So that's all Mr. Burch doing that, and yeah, it's really cool.
And when you were researching your part for Tiny Tina, did you go back and play the original or the first Borderlands to kind of get a feel for everything?
I didn't. Whoops. Hey, Chris Failer.
Because you'd already spent like 1,000 hours playing.
Exactly. No. Yeah. I mean, Anthony and I have a really similar sense of humor. So Tina was super fun because I kind of just knew what would make him laugh, and so I just did that extra hard. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But yeah, like Mark was saying, working on Borderlands is really great because you do have a lot of freedom to do whatever. Mark and Anthony and the rest of the team that are recording, they just are excited to hear what you're going to do with the lines. They don't have like something specific in mind, which is really awesome.
Yeah, I remember that audition when you came in to read for Tiny Tina, and Anthony's like, you know, talked about your friend and said, you know, modeled that off of her, and she did this voice, and we all just fell out, and we immediately knew that like we had something really cool.
It's so funny when somebody writes a role specifically for you and you still have to audition. Were you nervous about it at all? Like, I hope they like me.
I call it an audition, but it was the first time we'd ever heard her do the character.
Right on.
Right. Yeah, I was nervous, Anthony. Well, Anthony, I mean, you know Anthony. Anthony was just like, just so you know, like he was like, don't be nervous, but here are all the reasons you should be nervous. And but it was nice because I did an audition and it was blind, right? Because he was like, I don't want to like just shove my sister in the. He was like, it's my first writing job. I'm just gonna like, here, cast my entire family. So it was a blind audition, but I was nervous. I was like, I really want to be in the game my brother's writing, and I was, so it was great.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here at the booth with us today and doing this interview. I know everybody out there is so excited for the release of the new Borderlands, myself included. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much, and we really appreciate all the hard work.
Thanks
for having us.
Thank you.